official narrative around Charlie Kirk's assassination has now reached Building 7 level bullshit. The surgeon that worked on Charlie, he came out and he said, nope, no exit wound. Just like Candace has said after she saw the video. The surgeon says the bullet went in and just stopped right there. Yeah, a 30-06 round that travels at 2,000 feet per second and is capable of going through fucking cinder blocks, walls, entire moose. 30-06 would go through 3 people before it even thought about fucking slowing down. And we're supposed to believe that, oh yeah, Charlie Kirk, he's the man of steel. Fox News has a headline up that Charlie Kirk's the man of steel, and he actually just stopped a 30-06 round bullet. Yeah, and then there's other people out there. Yeah, God just slowed it down. Yeah, so it would just kill him. This is the most insane bullshit I have ever fucking heard from the government. Like, I'm more apt to believe their story of 9/11 than this absolute horseshit. Kash Patel, you were on thin ice when you lied about Epstein. Now we're just done with you. We're just done with you. You know you're lying. We know you're lying. And you know that we know that you're lying. So just go ahead and resign, buddy, because we're fucking done here with you. Like, this whole story is absolute horse shit. The FBI is like, oh yeah, we're investigating 7 to 20 other people that were involved, and then they're just magically the next day, nope. Actually, nothing to see there. Lone gunman, we got these AI texts, it explains it all. We already laid it out for you. We told you the whole bullshit story. We gave you a whole truck full of bullshit. Why are you not believing our bullshit? Oh, I don't know. Because we fucking know what bullshit smells like, Cash, and you're shoveling it with a fucking excavator. Jeez, this... How the fuck? How the fuck? Trump, you're threatening to fire Pam Bondi over not fucking arrest anybody? You might as well throw Cash on that list too, because we're fucking done with these idiots that just run their mouth and do fucking nothing. Start delivering right fucking now, or you are going to have a revolt on your hands, Trump. You are going to have a revolt because we're not fucking retarded. Yeah, I hope you understand that. So fucking do better. Somebody better have some real answers out there right fucking quick in a big 180, or this is all going in the fucking toilet. Good luck to you all. Long live the Republic.
You gotta love what that guy had to say, but he's a little bit vulgar, but that's okay. You know, there's some people in this world that won't listen to you unless you are, so he's going to touch a certain number of people. We all have different kinds of styles, and we all have different kinds of things that we can do. But the bottom line is, it's now time for we the people to take our power back. That's what Trump said in 2016. Ha! Yep, we're turning the power back to we the people. Yeah, it's our turn. It's our turn to make some noise and start demanding change, demanding it. The Wake people know what's going on, and it's already finished, so we're watching the replay, but yeah, the normies are going to have to see the movie, and it's time. It's time for the credits to roll. Hi there, Neil here, the Twisted Lightworker. Yeah, the movie's moving along, and we're definitely at the point where by the full reveal is coming out to the normies, and part of that is going to require you and I, those of us who are awake, to actually push for the reveal to come. Because when we start pushing for it, some of the sleeping are going to actually notice what's going on, and they're going to finally become curious and see, because they're going to be hit with the truth sooner or later. So there's a lot of things that you and I can be doing to change our tactics and participate in a unique way, in our own way. Everyone has their own style, just like the twisted side of me and the fellow that labels it real hard with his vulgar language. But he hits the point and he drives it home. And that's kind of, I see that as a calm. He's a fellow that just all of a sudden seemed everybody found him. Boom, all of a sudden he was everywhere. So I'm wondering if he's actually one of the actors playing in this scripted movie and playing his part. So that's why I put the overlays in the words in his talk, because I think that he probably is working for the good team and doing things because it's time. And like he was one of the truthers that just all of a sudden became famous and everywhere you see him. So that tells me that there's a probability that his platform and has been promoted by the good guys, the white hats, because they know the big reveal is coming. They know the big reveal is coming, and the more noise we make as awake patriots and anons, the more noise we make and the more we demand our local politics to do things, the more we write letters to the media, things of that nature. Those are all things that we can be doing. And don't forget, the evil ones use divide and conquer as their strategy to nail us all and keep us all hooked and line and sinker, hook, line, and sinker. So anything that we can do to create unity is something worthwhile, and it's powerful.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, Reiki Master and Holistic Regenerative Guide. If you're feeling overwhelmed, stuck, and disconnected from yourself, I'm here to help. I offer trauma-informed healing that blends energy work, intuitive guidance, and creative expression, all rooted in deep presence and nervous system repair. Book a free consultation at 𝓘𝓷𝓽𝓻𝓸𝓭𝓾. Are you ready to stand in your power and reclaim your authentic self?
Anything that we can do to create unity is something worthwhile, and it's powerful, because unity is what will bring us all back together, and we'll all be we the people. We the people. The power to the people. That's going to take a little bit more than just watching podcasts and hanging out in forums and worse yet, being aware and awake and not doing anything. We have to do something. It's time. It's time. It's unity time. The trouble is, most of us in this world, we've been deliberately dumbed down and we don't know how to think. In the 90s, I read a book called The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. I've been fortunate because I started studying Toltec and metaphysics and some deep stuff that caused you to think back in the early 80s, 1980, when I took my first course, a meditation course that opened my mind to a whole bunch of things. It's a discipline. It takes a lot of effort. And the first thing that we have to do, it's a puzzle. We have to question everything, especially our beliefs. Very few people are willing to think. They think with emotions, and we've been taught not to think. It's multiple choice and guesswork. Memorize. It's not a matter of observing and thinking. It's about memorization, and guess which one of the four selective answers is going to give us the highest mark. And then we've been taught if we agree with the professor or not, as long as our papers did, we would get a higher mark. All of that has to be out the window. So we have to learn first and foremost how to question everything. And we have to question our own beliefs, because our own beliefs are going to be wrong a lot of the times. So observation skills is the next thing that we need to really work on. And it's crazy how quickly and easily they've manipulated our ability to observe. Even you jump in your car, a beeper goes off if you don't put the seatbelt on. Like, I can think for myself. I don't need the car to do my thinking for me. When you're backing up, you're 5-6 feet away from the car behind you, and if you've got a newer vehicle and you've got that backup screen, and you're looking in the mirror because you can gauge the distance the way you've always done it. This stupid thing goes beep, beep, beep before you even get close to the vehicle. And it's a distraction. It's not a help. And those are the things that people have lost their ability to observe. They're allowing everything else to be the observer for them. I seen a cartoon that was absolutely perfect. There was a blob of a fellow sitting in a lazy boy or an armchair that was kind of worn out and old. He's overweight, watching the news, and his wife come in, nag, nag, nag. She says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I'm catching up on what I'm supposed to be thinking about today." And that, unfortunately, is the size of it. Too many people, that's where they're stuck. They don't know how to observe. They don't know how to think. Research all sides of the story. That is really important. Researching what you believe doesn't necessarily bring you to the truth. We have to research both sides of the stories, and we have to be willing to get up off of our self-importance and actually do some deep research, because the truth is out there, but it's not obvious until you learn how to do your research. Researching skills and observation skills have completely been destroyed in our school systems. We don't know how to do that. We really, unfortunately, we've been programmed not to do that. So we've been deliberately dumbed down. Deliberately. So think critically without emotions. Number 4, think critically without emotions. Everybody gets their emotions in the way. If they don't like a person, that's the end of it. They won't pay attention to what he has to say. Just like that fellow that I opened with. He had vulgar language. Now, some people won't listen to what he had to say because he's vulgar. Some people won't listen to me because I get a little bit animated with my twisted entries or intros. And that's not right, because we have to learn how to observe, think critically, and yeah, you got it. You got it. We have to question everything, especially our beliefs. So thinking critically without any emotions, number 4, is really important. Ponder your research. After you've researched both sides of the coin, you have to ponder. Sit back, don't make a decision. Don't allow yourself to make a decision just because you've read both sides of the issue. Ponder. Why? What's the root cause? Taking things back to the source. Because all things start with a thought. Everything starts with a thought. And that's the thought is that it doesn't emotionally feel good. I'm going to stop researching down this path. I want to continue to believe this side. No, we have to be able to ponder, not making a choice. And after you ponder, the next step is to tap into that spirit of the divine that's deep inside you. That is a big one. And that's part of the big awakening, is learning how to tap into that source of creative source, God, that's inside you. God hath not given the spirit of fear, but of power and love and sound mind. All 3 of those gifts he's given to each and every single man and woman on the whole earth realm. We've all got those gifts. Do you tap into all 3 of them? Or are you hung up on just the love? Well, then you're tapped into just the emotional side of things, and you're not going to be good at researching. You're not going to be good at observing, and you definitely won't know how to critically think. Because your emotions are getting in the way. That's really hard. It's really hard to learn that skill. But when you start to tap into God within, you listen to your intuition next. It's number 7. And that's highly important. Because if God hath not given the spirit of fear, but of love and of power and sound mind, and that wee small voice inside starts to talk to you, so many people don't know how to listen to that. We've all got that spark in the divine inside us. It's inside each and every single cell. It's in our DNA. And we all have that spark, and proof of that is every one of us, whether we're a believer or not, will go into some room and all of a sudden we get the heebie-jeebies. We'll get the hair on our arm will stand up, or the hair on our backs kind of stands up, or we get tingling up our spines. What is that? That's the spirit within speaking, intuition. And when that happens, listen. And sometimes to break your train of thought, the universe will provide a bird to sing or a dog to bark just to cause you to think. But sadly, once again, people are plugged into not observing their surroundings. They got their earphones on when they go for a walk. They can't even be in tune with their environment when they go for a walk. It's really pathetic where we've been programmed to numb down and dumb down, both numb down and dumb down. And we have to be cognizant of that and aware of it and do something about it. So listen to the intuition, then you can use discernment. And at that point, be ready to change your mind with additional information. The people who are hung up emotionally, they don't like to change their mind. Quite frankly, nobody likes to change their mind anyway, except people who have been on the awakening path a long time. They're ready to change their mind all the time. So when you change your mind with additional information you've got from observing, you've got that from questioning your beliefs, from observing, researching both sides of the issue, and critically thinking without emotions, tapping into that spirit of God that's deep inside you, listening to your intuition, use discernment. If you do all of that properly, then you'll be ready to change your mind if additional information leads you to that. And guess what that does? That takes us right back to questioning everything, which is questioning number one. Carlos Castaneda was the first books that I've read that tapped into the Toltec way of looking things, and I've got a lot deeper into it because the Toltec were really awake at the time. There was the Aztec, the Mayans, and the Toltec, and the Aztecs and the Mayans, they destroyed the Toltecs. Why? Because the Toltecs were the most spiritual of them all. They've been classed as warriors. No, they were defending their rights, and they lost because both the Mayans and the Aztecs took them out. So the Toltec tradition is really deep. And the hardest thing in the world to assume is the mood of the warrior. It's of no use to be sad or complain and feel justified in doing so, believing that someone is always doing something to us. Nobody is doing anything to anybody, much less to a warrior. That gets really deep. That gets really deep. How can nobody be doing anything to us, much less to a warrior? Because thoughts are things. We create our reality with our thinking. That taps into metaphysics, it taps into deep Toltec, it taps into deep wisdom from all the gurus of the ages, and it taps into what Jesus said, because he said, I am in the Father, and the Father's in me, and I am in you. We're all part of the one big massive field of the universe, the ether, the ancients called it, and at one time it was even part of the periodic tables. The ether is real, and it's everywhere inside and outside you, right to the core of your DNA, the ether. God's presence, the power of the universe is at hand right inside you. And so really, the mood of the warrior should be easy to assume when we know all that, but we've been programmed not to be aware of it. So no one is ever doing anything to us. Sure, situations arise and we may have to step out of our comfort zone and deal with the situation. And it may not be pleasant, but the mood of the war. Just because all hell breaks loose in your life, your favorite dog dies, car breaks down, the fridge quits, you get behind on your mortgage payments, you got creditors up your butt. It's hard to have the mood of the warrior because you blame everything coming on you. But when you really look at, somehow you allowed yourself to get into that spot. You created the reality with your environment, with your thinking, or with your not thinking, with your actions, or worse yet, your inactions. The mood of the warrior is really hard to get. Nobody is doing anything to anybody, much less to a warrior. So what does all that lead back to? The awakening. Great awakening. We're in the great awakening right now. The old world is dying. The world that we knew, grew up in. It's all dissipating. It's all being taken down. It's a brand new world. And guess what? We are the ones that we've been waiting for to create the new reality. We are the ones, you and I. Those of us who are aware and awake, aware of the corruption and awake enough to realize that the white hats are doing their part. Are we awake enough to get up off the couch and roar like a lion and do our part? What's that going to take? It goes back to those 9 steps that leads back to a circle. Question everything, even your beliefs. Learn some observation skills. That's one thing that the comms and the cute posts and the comms dropped by the media and Trump and those in the upper knowing of what this war that we're all going about, part of the Q plan, they're all dropping comms all the time. We've been taught how to observe. I always knew, but now I'm way better at observing than I was before. So researching all sides of every story. Think critically without emotions. Ponder your research. Tap into God within deeply. Listen to your intuition and use discernment. And above all, be ready to change your mind and make a new decision based on additional information. No one will ever change my mind, but I am always willing to make a new decision based on additional information. Because I've been doing those 9 steps 30, 40 years. And now I'm in the process of doing what I can to help you understand that. Those steps, they're real. What's it really take? What's it really take to be part of the Great Awakening? When we shift our energy from fear to power with compassion, we will find we were always loved beyond human understanding. It takes willpower to get the ego out of the way and silenced. It's not a passive act. Action with the power of intent will stop the ego's chatter and lead you to freedom. Welcome to the discipline of awakening. Welcome to the discipline of the awakening, the Great Awakening. And it's happening from the North Pole all the way down to the South. Everywhere, every country, all people are all part of this Great Awakening that's happening right before our eyes, and we get to play our part as long as we're willing to follow those 9 steps. Follow those 9 steps. Be willing to listen to people who at first you don't like, maybe. Maybe you don't like that vulgar guy. Maybe you don't like that crazy intro that I put in my videos. But I learned something in my course of studying metaphysics and meditation and the Bible and Toltec. I learned something that's very, 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 very important. And that is, I learned those 9 steps. So spend some time, find out what it's like to actually be awake, up off the couch, doing things in your neighborhood. Create some unity projects. Learn some common law. Take a battle against the corrupt bar, British accredited registry, the lawyers. Learn how to make your political leaders in your community accountable for their actions. Speak up a little. Write a little letter to the editor. You don't have to make videos. You don't have to be on a microphone. I'm willing to do both, and I've done both, and And I've written letters that the newspaper won't print. And I don't, you know why? There's newspapers in Canada anyway. All local newspapers receive government funding. Think about that. They're controlling what we think about. So it goes back to that dude sitting in the big chair watching the news. He's learning what he's supposed to be thinking about today. Don't know. You got to learn those 9 steps. And for a recap, let's do them. Let's question everything, especially your own beliefs. Observe. Learn to observe. Forget about technology. Leave your dang phone at home when you go someplace and actually look around and see what's happening in the community. Observe. And that's a real interesting one because, you know, if you watch for signs, when Trump makes the sign of the spear, when you watch for signs and you know some of the other signs that some of the secret societies use, if you're paying attention, you see a lot. You see a lot. And if you're tapped into that spirit within, God within, the universe will speak to you in unusual ways, beautiful ways. Birds. I'll tell you a story sometime about how the blue jays come into my life. And when I'm not listening to that spirit within, just about every time, when I'm not listening, I'll go out having coffee on the front porch, and then the blue jays start. And I realize I'm in my head, not observing, not paying attention. They tell me. God speaks to you with intuition, and he prods you in so many ways. But you have to be willing to question your belief and follow those steps in the discipline of awakening. And when everybody's done that by 2030, the whole world is going to be the new world. The old world's gone. The new world hasn't been born yet because we're the ones that have to create it. We, the people, are the ones. By 2030, our agenda will be in place. It won't be the globalist nonsense, but it'll happen faster and be further along in the change if more people got up off the couch. And by 2030, we will thrive and be happy, and I call that thrivalism. I call that thrivalism. There's a lot in this video, and I hope that you got a little bit of it, retained it. Wouldn't hurt to repeat it and go back and listen to the whole thing, because we're at that stage now where you really have to follow those 9 steps and become more. Yes, that's what I said. Become more. Not have more. Not do more. Become more. I am in the Father, and the Father's in me, and I am in you, Jesus said. He's speaking not from himself, but of the Father within him. He said that too. Think about that, what that means. That spark of divine's inside you. The Great Awakening. The Great Awakening. As always, check the links down below. I always have some gems to put in there. A big thank you for those who have bought me coffee. Actually, the Buy Me a Coffee link is in the description down below. Join my channels. How to join them is also down in the description. Where to follow me on my video platforms and Telegram and Facebook. Yeah, I'm still on Facebook. I'm back on again. They booted me off once because I was exposing human trafficking. So it's been a journey. I lost 30,000 followers at the very beginning of the pandemic because my previous tinfoil hat wearing and doing the research from the 90s on, I knew what we were coming up to, and we're still going through it. The Great Awakening. The old world's dying, and the new world is ours to create. So buy me a coffee. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe, share, boost my algorithms. If you can't afford to buy me a coffee, and if you can't afford to buy me a $3 coffee, you know, if you share and join my channel, it means so much. Find me on my social media links that are down below as well. And I leave you with a wish from the bottom of my heart, from that spark of the divine that's inside each and every single cell of my body, and reaching out to hopefully stir that spark of the divine that's in you. And I wish you and yours peace profound.